welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And in this video, I'm going to give you a flip through of Campfire Curriculums Independence Day unit. So this unit has recently been revamped, and the one thing you need to know about this unit is it's only available around the time of the holiday. So you want to pick that up now. If you are going to use it to work on the 4th of July and you want to teach a unit before then, or if you're like me and I'm going to use it when we get to this part in American history, I'm going to use this unit for that. So you want to go ahead and pick it up now while it's available, because it is a holiday unit and those are only available during that holiday. So go check it out if you want to purchase that. So today I'm going to show you the Growing Learner notebook here, and then I'm also going to share with you the core connections. So we'll go through all of that. Now, when you get your download, when you purchase this from Campfire Curriculums, you are going to get 3 guidebooks: Advanced Guidebook, Growing Guidebook, and Early Guidebook. Here are the recommendations for it, and of course, you know your children best, so you put them where you want to. One thing I do want to say is you don't have to print everybody a notebook. For us, we print one notebook and that's what we use. My son does not have his own. We just share the same notebook. You're also going to get the Core Connections Companion. It includes all ages core school subject connections. This page right here is really important for you to read. I'm not going to go through all of it with you, but you do need to read this, especially if you are new to Campfire. So this does explain all about it. And if you want to see the color coding in action, it has somewhere for you to go. This says that Campfire uses a living book format. And if you want to know more about that, you have another place you can go and look. So definitely read those. Over here are your options of how to use Campfire. There are 3 ways: most basic, middle of the road, and all in. Read those descriptions and decide what works best for your family. For us, it really just depends on the day. For the most part, we're all in, but sometimes we're just middle of the road. So read these and see what you think will work for your family. This tells you when to stop the lesson if you want to. And then this says, wait, where are the worksheets? Is this all just a lot of reading? Make sure you read through all of this. This is a great explanation along with this page right here about what is the Campfire method that we use in our units. This is an amazing page full of so much information. You also want to check out the links and sources. If you just scan this QR code or you visit this website, you can find, it's going to take you to a web page and it's going to give you potential scope and sequences, shopping list, book list, all those wonderful things. Okay? So let's see what's next. No printing required. You can use digitally if you prefer. These are optional activities, quick reference. So everything in the activity area is optional, okay? Sorry about the shadow. The shadow is awful. All right, now here is your table of contents. As you can see, this is a mini unit. It has 6 lessons, but I can promise you I've read through this entire unit and there is nothing mini about it when it comes to information. This thing is packed full of information. And there's also a picture study in the appendix. I'm gonna go ahead and apologize up front because I'm not gonna say that I stink at printing, because that's not it. Just like I try to instill the habit of attention with my son, I need to work on that myself. And when I was printing, I wasn't giving my full attention to printing. And so this didn't come out the way that it should. And it was all my fault. I was trying to do too many things at one time and it did not turn out well. Most of it did, but some of it didn't. And that was because I wasn't paying attention. So if you see some weird printing, that's on me. It has nothing to do with Campfire. Also, if you are going to print this at home, please open it up in Adobe. It's free to download. It's an excellent PDF reader. That's where you're going to want to print from, and you want to print as an image. So this says read before lesson 1. And so this talks about fireworks, 4th of July, 1998, and then a glimpse into the past, some things to consider, and then you can head to lesson 1. Now, I was blown away by this beautiful flag. This is at the top of every one of the lessons, and it's gorgeous. So here's your lesson 1. So the story begins in 1765, Massachusetts. And then over here on the side, this says, Any blue text in this sidebar section is always for your age group only. Read it quietly now, save it for independent reading later, or use it however else you'd like. So over here, there are some terms, there are some definitions, and that's what's in the sidebar over here. So see, printing problem. My part, you know, on me, it's on me. So just let you see what that looks like. This should be front and back, but your girl here wasn't paying attention. That's real life. And then we're going to talk about Ben Franklin. And then you have a cool teacher moment. This one's actually really neat. I can't wait to use that. Then you have your faith talk and your think tank. Now, if you're secular and you're like, that sounds wonderful, but we are secular, you can leave out the faith talk and you would be absolutely fine. So don't think that you have to do that. Optional activities to make your own declaration, and then calming jars. Now here's the skip if you want pages, and they mean exactly that. If you don't want to do them, you can skip them. So let's see what they are. They're actually really good. So this one is a spotlight on a founding father, and it's all about Benjamin Franklin. This talks about wisdom. And then it says, you know, don't forget your core connections companion, and here's your stopping point, where it kind of just gives a little summary of what you've learned. And like I said, we'll get to the core connections in a minute, but you would do it after you did your lesson here. Lesson 2 is 1767, 2 years has passed. And so you've got a great section for your kids to take notes if they want to, or if you do narration, this will be an excellent place to put their narration. There are warnings to like pre-screen for younger children. Pause for a deeper look. The optional activities here are to make your own ink and to have a debate. Your skip if you're, I can't even talk today. Your skip if you want pages are on Patrick Henry. And again, this is the same. And so this just kind of the same flow throughout. Okay, here's another problem. As you can see, another time when I didn't have the habit of attention, I printed these upside down because I forgot to change, to flip on the short side. This is what happens when you don't have the habit of attention, okay? But you know what? I wasn't going to reprint because that's not necessary. I'll just flip my book upside down. But you get the gist of what it looks like, right? I'm so sorry. So you have patriotic punch upside down and make your own paper. Lesson 4, we're talking about when the battle begins. Here's Paul Revere's Ride. This talks about the official start of the American Revolution. The document they held in their hands and signed. Calligraphy is your optional activity, and corn cob fireworks. And then a salt dough map. We've never done one of those, so I'm interested to try that. This is a spotlight on a non-founding father, but he had a big part in it, and this is about Paul Revere. Lesson 5 is Independence Day. This is the words of the Declaration of Independence. Your activities are to finish up your declaration here. Invisible ink. And lesson 6, it's journal entries. And then you also talk about when the Redcoats surrendered, the Treaty of Paris. And then this is a follow-up to the story you read at the beginning. And then you're going to do your picture study. So here's your picture study with some things to think about. This talks about a Revolutionary War painter, and then you can compare and contrast the painting at Bunker Hill. And then these are some pictures of people who fought the American Revolution. So I thought that was really neat when I was looking through it. A look into the natives, the United States National Anthem. And then you have a picture of Boston Harbor. And then Let Freedom Ring, America, My Country 'Tis of Thee. You have that in the back as well. So this is one of the guidebooks. Now, if you are wanting to use this for more of an elective, this is where people start to use the core connections, because this is where all your other subject areas are going to fit in. So, of course, the unit itself is very history heavy, so there's not going to be a ton of history in here. This one has all core connections for elementary to high school. It does talk about how the curriculum is very flexible, so you can use it as the foundation of your core, or you can use it as extracurricular. These are just included for free for anybody that wants to use it. So you don't have to use these, all right? So they always recommend a separate math curriculum, and then this one talks about language arts lessons. So over here is your table of contents. So this tells you everything for each lesson. And then here is their science. So this talks about Benjamin Franklin and, he was with a kite and all that jazz, but much better than how I just said it. It's a wonderful lesson about the scientific method. The language arts, you are going to, it says each lesson will include some or all of the following: a passage of Ben Franklin's writings, a bit about literature derived from the passage, a lesson in grammar from the passage, copy work or dictation from the passage, and some spelling and writing tips. I thought it was great. As I was looking through it, I was like, this is exactly what I want for language arts. So this is his writing under his pen name, Silence Dogood. And so it says elementary is going to read what's in the red bracket, middle school will do red and green, and then high school would just do all of it. So for all age groups, you're going to talk about the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, and why. High school extension is to work on the who, the character, and then there's some writing time. And I'm probably going to do this with my son because I think he can definitely handle that. The grammar focus is here. So for elementary only, you're kind of talking about nouns and pronouns. And for grammar in high school, if necessary, he says, like, we all know what a noun or pronoun is. It just kind of goes into figurative language and personification. There is some copy work, so you can copy the passage from Benjamin Franklin, this section that's highlighted in your color. But it says do correct any misspellings or grammar as you do it. And then here's some general spelling tips for elementary and middle. And then if you need some spelling words, there's some down here. And then here's some copy work. You, of course, don't have to do this all in one sitting, but it's there. You need it. And then it's going to go the same throughout all the copy work. So lesson 2 has science and then language arts. So you're focusing on the why. The high school is going to focus on external and internal struggles. Your grammar's here, so adjectives and adverbs. And then you have some spelling tips. Science is the battle of the atom. This tells middle school and high school only, and then elementary and middle school, so you know what you need to do for your age group. Make sure that's up high enough. And then language arts, again, is the when. High school is going to work on setting. And grammar and middle school review if necessary. So this talks about apostrophes, your copy work, and your spelling. And that's what it looks like throughout the rest of it. So that is, there we go. That's the end. So that right there was the flip through of the Growing Learner. What I do recommend is when you get the download to go through each of the books. Sometimes the early learner has some cute activities in there too that some older kids enjoy. So definitely go through and see where your kids fit. Print the core connections if you're interested. I think they're amazing. I think this is an awesome mini unit, and I definitely recommend you trying it. So if you have any questions about this unit or about Campfire Curriculums, leave them down in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching.